It's Heidi and
Kyra.
and today we're going to make sauerkraut. Actually, I've already been making sauerkraut. I'm working on it right now. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It's really easy. Last video we showed you how to make whey, and we follow the Nourishing Traditions recipe, which calls for 1 tablespoon of salt, 1/4 cup of whey to 1 medium cabbage, and then you let it ferment. So I want to show you how to cut the cabbage. What you want to do is this is about a medium size, small to medium sized cabbage. So what we want to do is I'm right-handed so you're not going to be able to see it, but you want to cut off the bottom there, and you need a really sharp knife to do this. Now, if you have a food processor, you can put it through the food processor. If not, you can just cut it up. Or if you like a bigger, instead of a finer chop, if you like a thicker chop. So I'm just taking some of these leaves off here and piling it up into my overpiled
Compost.
Yeah, compost, whatever you call it. Anyway, we're making a mess. And so you cut that bottom part off, and then what you're going to do is you're going to cut it right on the core in half. So I quarter the cabbages, and then you want to cut it like in quarters. And then you just see the core right here in the center. You just cut that out. So you do that for each one. And then I'm putting mine through the food processor. So I just take a piece about that big. My food processor is a little bit small. And you start feeding it through. And let's see here. Okay. So shove that in like that. And so we are kind of grinding everything up, and everything is going into this bucket. So everything we're putting in a 5-gallon food grade BPA free bucket. And I also found some other veggies in my fridge. All hard veggies are really good to use for the sauerkraut. So as you can see over here, I've got some squash. Some squash that was in my fridge, and I cut some green pepper. So I'm going to drop those. I'm going to put those all in my food processor and grate them up. And they grate really nicely, as you can see. And I dump that in here in my cabbage. Okay, so once we're all full, I'm going to make sure I get all these added, but to show you how to finish this, let's go from here. So I've got my whey, and I did about, let's see here, I did about 9 small to medium sized cabbages. So I'm going to do about 1/4 cup times 6. So that's 1.5 cups of whey, and I'm just going to pour it right in here. And that was 1 cup, and then I'm going to do 2 cups. And let's see here. Okay, so we're done with the whey now. And then we're going to use some sea salt. I don't just use any kind of salt. I get a nice variety of sea salt. And this is some Himalayan pink salt, and this is some Hawaiian red clay salt. So I'm going to do about 6 tablespoons of those. Thanks, Kyra. Did you have a question to ask me, Kyra?
No.
I thought you might wonder something. Anyways, we're going to add the salt right now. So there's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. I'm going to do 3 of each. So we're doing it for about 6 medium heads of cabbage. And I just guesstimate. I was trying that. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. And the reason why we make sauerkraut, fermenting foods is a long time traditional way of preserving food. Fermenting vegetables and fruits, though, you can actually ferment any food. But what it does is it creates a product that's probiotic. It's great for your stomach. It helps you digest, gives you lots of good immunity. So see, we've got everything in here right now. And I'm going to put it up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix all this in. So you want to just take your hands, and you're going to want to squish it around. Oh, probably like just till it's really well mixed up. And we're not going to show all of that, but I usually toss it around about 60 times or so until I feel like all my salt is dissolved and all that. And then once you're done, you want to make sure you have enough liquid to cover the sauerkraut, but I'm going to show you how to do that next. Okay, so we've mixed all of our sauerkraut together and we're ready to let it ferment now for about a week. So just a note about the fermentation time. If you use whey, it takes about a week to get your sauerkraut finished. And if you do just salt, you can use just salt to ferment your sauerkraut. So you double the salt. So it's 2 tablespoons of sea salt to 1 medium head of cabbage. And if you use a coarser cut for your cabbage, you might want to use a mallet to pound it up for about 10 minutes before you ferment it. So if you can zoom in on this now, you'll see our finished product, and I put a little bit of cellophane over the top. The idea here is we want to keep the sauerkraut juice above the sauerkraut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a Ziploc bag that I filled with water on top here. And this is just one way to make sauerkraut. You can get ceramic crocks and do sauerkraut. You can actually do sauerkraut in jars as well. But this is going to add enough weight to my sauerkraut to keep that under the liquid, but you want gas to be able to escape because the fermentation process will create a lot of gas. You can also ferment in jars, and if you do that, you just have to make sure you unscrew your jars every couple days to let the gas out. So we're all set. I'm just going to grab the lid here. I forgot. And we'll put it on top. And then you want to put this in a little bit of a warm place, not higher than 70 degrees, but I put mine on top of my fridge because it's warmer. Heat rises and it's warmer up there. So in about a week, I'll be able to put about 4 gallons of sauerkraut into, or I don't know how many gallons this is, but anyways, it's going to make an awful lot of sauerkraut, and then I'll be able to put it into quart jars. And I make sauerkraut, and I sell it at the Oregon City Farmers Market. And if you don't do that, you can just make your own sauerkraut at home and have lots of sauerkraut throughout the winter season, and you've preserved all your cabbage that you grew over the summer or that you bought from a farmer at the farmer's market. And I'm Heidi with naturesweetie.com and also Food for Life group. You can find us on Facebook, and please like our page. Just look up Food for Life group. And that's it for today.